Hi, I'm Barbara Monier, and this is a continuation of the first chapter in my novel Pushing the River, which will be published by Amica Press on October 9th, 2018. Both my mother and my father died at home. My mother, with no warning whatsoever, simply did not wake up one morning. I had talked to her on the phone twice the night she died. She went to bed that night, the same as every other night, in her big bed in the house where she spent the first 20 years of my life. She tended the flowers in the beds and washed the drapes once a year like clockwork, and made sure her children were dressed and fed and minded their manners. She joined the PTA and the church guild and the neighborhood ladies group that met once a month for light luncheon and cards. My father had gone upstairs to dress after he'd finished his full pot of coffee and his morning newspaper, and he thought, "That's funny. It sounds like the goddamn alarm clock is buzzing." My mother lay in bed, still and peaceful as could be, the alarm clock screaming. My father went over and shook her big toe through the blanket. He called her name into the daytime blackness of the room, the bright July sunlight held back by dense curtains, save for the littlest peek here and there. He went over and pushed the peg of the alarm and stood there with his index finger still pressing it, as if he had an inkling that when he took his finger off, he would have to figure out what to do next. And he had the further inkling that this would be the first in a chain of events that marked the beginning of an entirely different life. He shook her toe a few more times, and then went over and sat down on his own side of the bed. It occurred to him that maybe if he got back under the covers and shut his eyes for a time, and then opened them up again, it might all be different. Eventually, he picked up the phone. "Bob," he said. "Bob, I think Mary's dead. I'm not sure, but I think that maybe she is." Which was an especially sad and strange thing to say, considering my father was a doctor, and he knew through and through that my mother would never take another breath. Thank you.